nice drawing.
Yeah.
Get your grandson
Yes.
and look. Owners are here. Another place. Yes. It's a wonderful place. Franco and Stefan own it. Please go there. It's a
Yes,
great.
awesome people.
And we met at a dinner there. And
Yeah, we
some
started
people were
talking
here.
yeah.
And I said, send me your materials. And you
It's
did.
always good to have stuff ready and prepared. It's like, oh, I do that stuff. And then I had I was doing a show for my birthday last November that was done at Elback Rough Draft Festival that was kind of premiering the musical. So what happened when COVID happened, we were going to go in a development workshop of my show and then it stopped, so it was really hard. And I decided to do a workshop of it online in November and you saw it. So
And I loved it.
yeah.
And you've been really pursuing your dream in such a positive and beautiful fashion. And I admire you for that. And I admire the story very much and your work. This is the last day of Black History Month. We could not... It's a celebration of Black history, but also Afro-Caribbean Black history. Isn't it?
Yeah, in the last few years I've been really, my family's Jamaican. I was born in Jamaica. I grew up there. When I moved to New York, it was funny. This library is so interesting to me because I come here every day when I first moved here to research and listen and watch shows and see how stories are being told through the archives here. So yeah, I wanted to, after grad school, figure out a way to tell the Afro-Caribbean narrative through musical theater on the stage because I thought that there was a gap in terms of the kind of stories that I grew up hearing and the stories I saw about the Caribbean. There was this like dissonance. It's like, no, we tell stories differently. And I wanted to be a part of the solution rather than complain about there's not enough diverse works or works that not represented me. I decided to be a part of the solution and study, research, and create works. So this is what you're going to see this evening, The Children of the Blue Mountain, comes from a specific folklore. Can I tell them a little bit about it?
This is your night, baby. So we don't need one.
So the Children of the Blue Mountain, so in Jamaican folklore, at the end of every story, instead of saying the end, we say, Jack Mandora, me no choose none. And the idea is that the storyteller, the Jack Mandora, gives the story authentically with no ad-libs, with no extra anything. And in my research, nobody knew what Jack Mandora represented or meant. And somewhere in the research, somebody goes, it's a bastard version of an English nursery rhyme. That didn't seem interesting to me. But I decided to give Jack Mandora an origin story. And the origin story became The Children of the Blue Mountains. So it was, why did somebody need to be a storyteller? Why did somebody need to make sure they represented the story authentically? And the research and the writing and everything end up with a young man who was living in the thunders inside the Blue Mountains, who was hearing Cromanti, which is a lost language in Caribbean. It was a language that when the Africans were brought over and the indentured servants from India and the Europeans met, they created this kind of common language that they talk. Today it became Patois, but it was first called Cromanti. And it's been lost. But I think that in that translation, so many wonderful lessons were lost. And so the character Jack Mandora in the nature of the Children of the Blue Mountain is able to hear Cromanti in the middle of the thunder. But he doesn't know and does not have the tools how to translate it. So he goes on the journey of the world is in chaos. And in the nature of this show, it's a hurricane. It's a metaphor for the world at loggerhead, people not being able to understand each other. And as the society tries to move forward and go back to normal, he's stuck because he can't stop hearing the thunder's Cromanti. And in the show, it's echoed as the wele's, you'll hear it in the music. And he tries to go on the journey of understanding this. But as most heroes' journey go, people around don't understand what he's able to see yet. Sometimes they can't see the vision that you can see. And sometimes you need to be willing to go for it. So I think in a lot of ways it represented my journey as an artist, trying to find my way in the world, in New York, doing multiple different things really, really well, and being told, this is what you do. I was like, no, I'm hearing something that I can't explain. I can't explain to you what I'm hearing, but I'm going to go on the journey of trying to understand it. And so the show kind of, in some ways, mirrors my journey as an artist to find my voice as he goes through the journey of finding his voice. And some of the music today I will kind of help to put it in context, what we could hear. But I need to have an amazing team to help me do that.
Yes, you do. Let's bring them out.
Hey, musicians and singers, come on out.
Band and cast.
the book music and lyrics, and it took up, I've been working on this for like 5-6 years. And
You're also starring in it.
and I'm going to be performing a little bit today. And so, to start the world, I wanted to kind of, so the first section you're going to see goes into what I call introducing the world. And kumina. Kumina is one of those wonderful ritualistic sounds in Jamaica that we use at celebration to kind of start off the world. We use it in death rituals and so many other rituals in the island. So we lead into that way of representing the thunder through the sound of kumina and blessing the space. And we use white rum in Jamaica whenever we perform these kind of settings to just honor the ancestors, honor the fact that I'm able to tell these stories because somebody somewhere said I'm not going to shut my mouth up. I want to keep telling my stories, even though I was told not to on the plantation or whatever else. And those stories got passed down some way, so I'm pulling from that source. So we honor that, and also the mischievous ones that we don't want to enter the space too much. They have too much fun with us. We use the rum to say, not today. So we start with that space, and then we go into the introduction of the world, which we talk about this protagonist, Anansi, antagonist Anansi, who kind of starts the world in chaos and represents the idea that the leader in the world, Anansi, starts off this web to find the person who can tell the story, to help translate the story. And then from hearing the narrative of Anansi, we go into Jack Mandora's mother, who hears that he's able to hear something, but as sometimes our leaders do, often suggest that be more practical, be more honest with what you're doing because it's hard, it's going to be a hard journey, so we won't push you through it. We see stories are great. And then we go into the Jack Mandora song trying to explain what he's experiencing in this world. So we're going to start with that right now. So let's do that.
Stories are great, they take us on journeys, escaping from troubles for now. But when times are serious, and now they are serious, we have to be present somehow. Look outside and see. This world's not a safe place. There's many a problem to solve. Each year winds get bigger, the rain's getting stronger, the skies open widely above. So tomorrow I need you to help with the people, the families and homes. When blue, we'll get all the crops down, find food and get it set, and make all this rubble seem new. I know that you love your stories, and yes, I love them too. But now we have to and a story on paper can do.
Have you ever stopped and looked at the skies after the rains? Then you know that blue, when no rain remains, that highway of birds flies upon, listening to the warmth of the sun. you a story to help cut the work in half.
Why don't you run and find us a crocus and separate grains from the chaff?
Every moment of the day, as they work, I hear them say, "Out of many, we are one." But what if I hear a different song?
Swords remind us that we must.
Hear people sing. So I'm excited to share what's the wonderful gift of this work is of my singers. I'll introduce my band in a second, but of my singers, we represent the diaspora in a pretty cool way, and I think we talk a lot about how we grew up and the commonality of the fact Gisela is Haitian American, our first generation American from Haiti. Yeah, and so the celebration of that collectively. Tisha and Ricardo are both Jamaicans. Yeah. Tisha and we from Jamaica, and we performed together in Jamaica before we even knew we were going to come to New York. And Ricardo and we kind of here, but then we connected. Facebook showed us what it was like a year ago. This is where you were, and we're like, oh my God, we're in the same picture. How did that happen? We didn't know each other. And then Monica from Grenada. But we have Guyana. So I'm excited, and I'll share with you the band in a second because they were amazing. But what's been amazing about the fact that all of these actors and performers have been contributing very heavily to the New York theatrical landscape. They've all done shows across the field of Broadway, of dance, of theater. And we wanted to find a space still that we go, but we still don't feel like we can use our voices. And I wanted no one to change their accent or the way they sounded. I wanted them to represent that. Because oftentimes we totally know we leave it, and for sometimes, importantly for some roles. But I want each of them to be represented and individuals as well as their talents. So,
Well, this is a true celebration, Michelle. And I can see everybody smiling behind the mask. I'm up there beaming at them. It's so wonderful to do that. It's been so long.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
such a dreary for such a
Yeah, and I think each of us, like that last song people sing, we connect to that coming from an island where, particularly being a performance artist or a theater artist, is not necessarily a career that you know about. You kind of have to reach really far and leave home to do it. And that journey leaving home is what leads into the next section, because the character, Jack Mandora, decides at some point, I can't stay in this small island, small village where I'm at, because as loving as the people are, they want you to harmonize with them when you sing a different song. So the next section goes into exploring the relationship of what I always say I'm a product of praying black women. And it's
What did you say?
praying black women. I'm a product of praying black women. I have so many black women across the world praying for me that it's wonderful. And I'm a walking testament to that. And the section kind of honors the relationship between mothers who try to understand their children who are different in the world. And so this is in the nature of the show. Jack Mandora has to leave. His mother says to him, you can't, you need to go further. But she also, I gave her a full moment of also explaining who she is to us as an audience in the song I'm Afraid. And Jack Mandora's best friend, Takuma, female, mother, sings the song together. They both sing the song I'm Afraid. That's going to be sung by Gisela and Tisha. And then afterwards, Walking Through Love is one of the things I wanted to honor is friendship, the gift of friendship, and how friendship is really, really important. And so the character Takuma today sang the second song, Tisha, when we Walking Through Love, which is an honoring in the show of you can't do the journey by yourself, and at some point you need that friend who may not be able to see your vision but sees you. And that's enough. So Walking Through Love is when the best friend sees him and says, okay, I'll go with you on this journey. And then if you see my son is the final song in this next section I'm going to share. And that's the moment when he leaves home, and one of the things we never look at and think about is what leaving home does to the people that you leave. And in this nation of the world is his mother, who now is trying to find him. And he didn't say where he was going, he just kind of went on a journey. And this is her finding him towards the end. So the next section kind of pays respect and homage to the women in the character's life. So here we go.
Let's do it.
I see a boy running freely, growing wild, living gaily, singing songs, telling the stories, and I'm afraid. I see the beauty in those bright eyes, the heart in his nice smiles, love the gate in his goodbyes. And I'm afraid. Will the world ever see the beauty in my boy? Can they hear the melody he sings in his heart? Will they know he can grow to change the world? But just because he's different, I'm afraid. I see a girl who is stronger than most boys who run stronger down the hills of the mountain. And I'm afraid. I hear the roars deep inside her, see the pounds she goes deeper, like a fine top of water. And I'm afraid. Will the world ever see the strength in my love? Can they hear the melody she sings in her heart? She grows and she changes the world, but just because she's different, I'm afraid. Just because she's different, I'm afraid. If I am your friend and you are my friend, you're never alone. Right now I could see the possibilities to change all we know. And though it's hard to see the task that you must bear, danger we could share. Smile, look at me. In your eyes, I see you're free. I'd run through the storm clouds with you. I'd run through the rain.
story that I want to tell, that was the first phase. And then stories have a way of snatching you from your ego and throwing you into purpose. So at some point, the ego got released, and I recognized the responsibility. And then I was like, I don't want to do it, it's too much. Because once you start doing something, and after the first reading, I saw what was happening to my friends and people in the audience who saw it and experienced it, it was hard to go back to the ego space to create the work. And so it took longer because then I realized after I started writing it, I don't have the tools. So I went to grad school. Started to go back to grad school and do a master's in theater making and performance, and decided to, if I want to do this, it was too important. Because I started to research and go into the folklore and the history, there were people who died to tell their stories, so I couldn't just for the sake of being a leading man, tell it. So then it became a little bit more profound and much more important to write a story that wasn't just going to be this wonderful thing on stage. But did not realize prior to 2020, because the show was supposed to go to a workshop in 2020, March 2020, when everything stopped. Half of these cast members were in the show. And a week before we went into a workshop, everything stopped. And then it was hard, it was really hard. And the show started to speak to me on the break. I started to recognize that here I am writing a show about a character in chaos who's trying to find himself, who's losing life and all these things. Did I believe what I wrote? And so it started to morph into, the next section, you segued me so well all the time.
I try.
So the next section kind of explores being inside the world and what games are we playing when we go down the path, when we break rock stones in Jamaican culture. And there's a song, Finger Mashing a Cry, that the first song is, this first song from this next suite is based off, and I pulled it because I saw Grace Jones because I'm like, oh, I like to write a song for Grace Jones. And it was the idea that you still have to remember to play the game as you go through life, because it's tough, and it can be dark, it can be heavy, but if you can remember the play in it, and the character Mungi takes Jack Mandora and Takuma on the journey to the land of the folklore, where he goes to buy and sell stories to figure out how to get the gift of translation. So a Play Play is the first song. Once he gets to the land of the folklore, he hears all the stories and he gets the gift of translation. Something happened that he didn't expect. He understands what they're feeling. It's one thing to hear stories of people, it's a whole other thing to then all the feelings be given to you. So in the nature of the show, not only does he understand the story, he feels everybody's emotions, and that's overwhelming. And so he explains to Takuma, which is going to be the next song by Monica, about the fear in the world, and trying to understand what's the cost and why is fear also important if it's being used in a healthy way towards healing, but not in a corrupted way. And then he goes on one of the final songs today is the idea of when you do find that space and you do understand what's going on, get all this gift of translation, you understand pocomania is so wonderful that you get the show abroad and all these different things, were the sacrifices worth the dream? And there's a question that the character asked, that I asked, and I don't know the answer. In some ways, it's not about finding the answer, it's about investigating the question and then collectively coming up with the answer. There's a collective moment where he asks the audience everybody say their name with me. And he realizes that because my name alone is not enough. My name alone, Jack Mandora, the reason I choose none is I can't choose my own personal story. I have to recognize that everyone needs a space and a platform and a space to tell their story. So he invites everyone, which I will at some point queue up, to say your own, which is your name. What is your name? What is your name? And then the world, show them the drum on the mask, So there's a mask in the show. I brought it out today because I want to share the exploration of that in my workshops. John Kuno is one of the ways that the enslaved people in the Caribbean, and their rare versions of it in the diaspora, used to celebrate Christmas and different times that they had celebration. And so when Jack Mandora goes to the land of the folklore, everyone is wearing a mask. And I want to explore that because one of the things that as I was researching, we were taught very, very well to fear a very simple thing like that mask because it was evil and ugly, and we were told that those things didn't have truth in them because we were being removed from ourselves. And as I started to research these masks and this folklore, they were just wonderful, brilliant work of art and storytelling things that didn't have anything attached to them except what we put onto them in terms of, omen, whatever. And one of the things that the character does, as people are saying his name, is instead of judging the mask from the front, why don't you put the mask on and see the people behind the mask? Who are the people who were forced to not be themselves, but the only way they could celebrate and be fully present is they had a mask or something in front of them. Who are these people behind the mask? And so in the show, the character was written to stop asking these questions and just experience it. Put it on.
And get rid of the fear. I mean, just the fear, false evidence, very real.
Very real. And understanding it, because
Getting out of your way, just
yeah.
living it.
So that's the next section that I want to jump on.
Okay, here we go.
When you step out in this world, yes, I get some too. Remember, it is a world that you don't know. I like that. Things may not be explained to you. So, don't ask no more questions. And let's go below.
is, no matter how great or interesting or how much you try to explore work, if there's not an audience for it, it doesn't happen. So thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you coming out.
So tell me what is going on. Is there a reason or just a calm before the storm?
I hear your question and I fight to know the truth, but feel lost in the night. The streets of many nights want a better world, living for tomorrow with the monsters world. We're fighting all the time to be called the oppressed, but now I feel the weight and I have to progress for tomorrow.
Is it worth it?
There's so much fear in the world.
What do you mean by so much fear in the world?
All these things, one after another. So much fear of each other.
Is there something left to do? Look where we come from. There is nothing new.
I must listen, I must learn to be myself.
Tell me what is your concern?
Wanting to be special has a great cost. Seeking out the power to make me lost.
I need you to remember that when you see me, there's love, hope, and family.
But tomorrow is worth it.
Is it worth it? Is it worth it?
So much fear in the world. I was the boy who did everything he knew to follow his dreams. But what is the cost? let it go and being okay in that space. And to use the memories for what they are and what you don't need to let go. So this song, Sweet Jerome and I, and thank you to everyone in the cast and production. And I'll see you next time this work gets up on the street somewhere in the world. If I could see you in my dreams, I tell you I'm okay. If I could whisper to the wind, I tell you smile. If I could hug the mountains tall,